Hello everyone. Today we are going to start with our numerical part of the DC machines. Now we have to solve the numericals on the DC motor. Before going to solve numericals, we are going to see some formulae as well as some points related or required for solving the numerical. So you can see here there are some formulae that I have written here. These are the main formulae on which the numerical types are depends. There are mainly three types of numericals. Number one, normal speed and torque numericals. Then you will have to solve the numericals on the speed control, and third type is the numericals on the efficiency. So we will see, just we will overlook the formulae and we will see what things we have to keep in mind while solving the numerical for series motor and for solving the numerical on shunt motor. We don't have the numericals on the compound motors. Okay, so first, back EMF. You know the back EMF has a formula P phi Z upon 68. It is one of the formula for the back EMF. Another we can write EB is equal to V minus IRA, or IA is equal to Y minus EB upon RA. This is the formula regarding the back EMF which we are using in the numericals. Generally this formula EB is equal to V minus IRA is mostly used in the numericals. Speed is directly proportional to EB by phi. So for calculating the value of speed, we must have to find out the EB. So for finding that EB, we may require this formula. Mostly the steps are, first we need to find out EB and then we need to find out the speed. We will see in details one by one in the numerical. Then torque equation. Torque is nothing but the 1 upon 2 pi phi into I pz upon A, or same thing can be 0.1595 into I pz upon A. But if you remove the constant terms, I can write the equation of torque as torque is directly proportional to phi into I. Now there are main two things that you have to keep in mind while solving the numericals of shunt motor. We are taking the phi as a constant. So equation of torque will be torque is directly proportional to I. And for series motor, phi is directly proportional to I. So equation can become the torque is directly proportional to I square. So these two things, torque is directly proportional to I for shunt, torque is directly proportional to I square for the series motor. Okay. Again, there are three types of torque. This is the armature torque which is developed in the armature of the motor. Armature torque, loss torque which is given by TF. TL or TSH is the load torque or the shaft torque. Okay. So equation of the torque, actual torque produced is the T. So total torque TA is equal to TF plus TL. This is the equation. Sometimes we have to use that equation in the numerical. So these are the main formulae related to the torque speed. Then the efficiency we need to calculate sometimes. So for calculating the efficiency, before going to the efficiency, we should know that what are the losses in the motor. So losses in the DC machines are copper losses, iron losses and mechanical losses. Copper losses occurs in the armature copper loss, failed copper loss, or the loss due to the brush contact resistance. That means they are electrical losses. Electrical losses and mechanical losses. So under electrical losses there are copper losses and iron losses. Copper losses occur in the windings. Windings are there in the armature, in the field, as well as in the brush contact there is resistance. So there is also the I square R loss or the copper loss. Then iron losses are nothing but we have the magnetic material in the machine or the motor. So magnetic losses are eddy current losses and hysteresis losses. So that losses are there in the electrical part. Under the mechanical part there are friction loss and windage loss. Okay. So this diagram will explain you how the power is flowing, because for calculating the efficiency we need to calculate P out, that is the output power, upon P in into 100 in percentage. Okay, so P out upon P in means output power upon input power. So we should know what is the input power given, what are the losses in the stages, and what is the output. So this diagram will very well explain you the power flow of the machine. So here you can see P in we are giving, that is nothing but a V into L. We are giving the electrical energy as a input as it is a motor. So what will be the P in? P in is equal to V into IL. So some losses are there, P shunt, P copper loss. So these are the losses after deducting the losses, or after subtracting the losses from this input power, we are getting the P electrical here in the armature. Okay, and that is the actual power which are going to convert into mechanical energy. So what is the actual power that we are giving as a electrical energy, that is EB into I. That EB into I is going to convert into the mechanical energy. So here that conversion takes place, that EBIA is converted into PM, that is nothing but the mechanical power. But we know that some iron losses and windage friction losses are there. So in the mechanical side some losses are there and we are getting the output as a P out, and we know that the mechanical power formula is T into omega. Input is electrical energy, electrical power is V into IL, output is a mechanical energy. So mechanical power formula is T into omega, that is the torque into omega. So it is a shaft torque, actual output torque that we are getting after minusing or subtracting the lost torque from it, because armature torque is here, some torque is get lost here, and then we'll get the actual output torque. So that is just to tell you that how the power is flowing and what are the losses. Okay, so efficiency can be calculated as P out upon P in. What is P out? T into omega. What is P in? V into IL. So I can write P out upon P out plus losses, or T omega upon T omega plus losses. There are same formula or same term can be calculated by different ways. For example, efficiency is equal to P out upon P in, or it can be P out upon P out plus losses. It all depends that what is given parameters in the numerical. So according to the given data, we have to decide which formula we have to use for the numerical. Okay, so these are some things that I want to tell you before starting the numerical. Now we will see some simple numericals on the speed, torque and efficiency, and then we will switch to the speed control method numericals. Okay, so first numerical is on the DC series motor. I'll read the numerical first. A DC series motor runs at 600 rpm taking 100 ampere from 230 volt supply. Armature and series field winding resistances are 0.12 ohm and 0.03 ohm. Calculate the speed when current has fallen to 50 ampere. Assume flux to be directly proportional to the field current. Here, what is the last sentence given? Assume flux is directly proportional to the field current. It is already understood and it is a series motor. Okay. So first we will write down the given data. What is the given data? N1 starting speed or the speed is 600 rpm. IA1 is 100 ampere, V is equal to 230 volt. RA and RS is given, that is the series resistance and armature resistance. IA2 is equal to 50 and phi is directly proportional to IF. So what is the given? First, at 600 RPM speed, the current is the 100, and if it falls to 50 ampere, what will be the value of the speed? So first speed is given, what is the I1 is given, at second I2 what will be the speed that we have to calculate. So first we will start with the EB1. EB1 is equal to V minus IA1 RA plus RAC. All the data is given, so I can directly get the 215 volt. Why we need to calculate EB1? Because we have just seen the formula that speed is directly proportional to EB upon phi. So that thing have the EB. So for calculating the speed we must have to calculate the EB. So in the first condition the current was 100 ampere, so I have kept the value of I1 as 100 here, and I have calculated the value of EB1 at first condition. Now for the second condition, IA2 drops at 50 ampere, it is given here. So V minus IA2, the formula will be the same, only the value change is the IA2. So here 230 minus 50 into whatever the values of resistances I have written here, I'll get the value of EB2. Once you have EB1 and EB2, we know that the speed is directly proportional to EB by phi, means EB is directly proportional to phi n. I can write EB1 upon EB2 is equal to phi1 upon phi2 into n1 upon n2. But already it is given that the assume flux to be directly proportional to the field current. So I can write here the values of EB1 upon EB2 is equal to IA1 upon IA2 N1 upon N2. IA1 is there 100, IA2 is 50. So put this value, because the series motor, current in the supply, current in the series field as well as current in the armature is same. So I can write phi1 and phi2 as IA1 and IA2. So N2 can be, just rearrange the terms, you will get N2 is equal to 1241.86 rpm. Note that always you should mention the units while you calculate the values. Okay, so this is the problem of the series motor, in which you have to keep in mind that all the currents, means supply current as well as the current in the armature as well as current in the series, are the same. Now we'll see the next numerical. It is based on the DC shunt motor. A 250 DC shunt motor, 250 volt DC shunt motor has armature circuit resistance of 0.2 ohm and field resistance of 125 ohm. Now you imagine there are two parallel branches, armature and field. It runs at 1500 rpm and draws a current of 50 ampere on the full load. Calculate its speed at half load condition. See, the data is given for the full load condition. Here, at full load, the speed is the 1500 rpm. At half load, what will be the speed? So, if we are assuming the load is changing at half load, means which electrical parameter will change? It will change the value of this current at half value. I1, that is the 50 amperes. So, I2 will be half of the I1. That is the 25 ampere. N2 is the speed at half load condition. Okay, so we'll assume N1 is the speed at full load, N2 is at the half load, that N2 we have to calculate. So again, for calculating N2, we'll go from the last point to the first point. Okay, so we know that EB is directly proportional to phi into N. Okay, so for that we are going to take this formula. Again we will require to calculate EB1 and EB2. Okay, so first ISH is the shunt current, V upon RSH. V is the 250 volt, RSH given is 125, so I'll get the ISH as 2 amperes. Why we need the ISH? Because the total current, the supply current is given, that is the I1, which is 50 ampere, and you know that it is the shunt motor. In shunt motor there are two parallel branches, so current coming from the supply will get divided into two branches. Now for calculating the value of I1, because I need to calculate EB1, for calculating EB1 we require I1, and I1 can be calculated from the ISH, because the total current I is equal to ISH plus IA. So I is given. If I can calculate ISH, I can easily calculate the value of IA. So for calculating the IA, we are going to calculate the value of shunt current. So ISH is equal to V upon RSH is equal to 250 upon 125, that is 2 amperes. Now I have the ISH value, I have the total current value, which is the 50 amperes. So what will be the I1? I1 will be I1 minus ISH1 is equal to 48 amperes. Now again the IA2 will be what? IA2 will be I2 minus ISH, because ISH is not going to change as it is a parallel branch, so that current will not get affected. So ISH will be 2 here, but what is the value of I2? I2 is the current at half load condition. So at half load we are going to take half 50% of the full load. So 50% of full load is now the 25 amperes. So what is the IA2? IA2 is equal to 25 minus 2 is equal to 23 ampere. Okay. Now EB1 is equal to, the formula is same, V minus IA1 RA. IA1 we have calculated as 48, just keep that value here, you will get the value of EB1 as 240.4 volt. And EB2 is equal to V minus IA2 RA. So IA2 is the 23 ampere. So keep that value here. So you'll get the value of EB2. Now again the same formula for calculating the speed, EB1 upon EB2 is equal to phi1 upon phi2 and 1 upon N2. Okay, but as it is a shunt motor, we don't have to take the value of phi, because phi is equal to constant in the shunt motor. Just in the starting I have told you that the speed of the motor, calculating the speed of the motor for the series, we have to take phi is directly proportional to I, and for calculating the value of shunt we need to take the phi is equal to constant. So as the phi1 and phi2 are the constant term, just keep the value of EB1, EB2. What is the value of N1? That is 1500 rpm, and we have to calculate N2. Now N2 will be 1500 into 245.4 divided by 240.4. So it will be 1531.19 rpm. So these are the simple problems based on the speed calculation. First speed is given at full load, we need to calculate the speed at half load. While calculating the speed from full load to half load, or by changing the load, we just have to divide that total current, supply current. We cannot dividing the I1 or IA2 by 50 or 1 by 2. We are just taking the portion from the supply current. So that thing you have to keep in mind, and as it is a shunt motor, you need to take the phi constant for solving the speed or for solving the numericals of the speed. Okay. So I hope you understand the first two numericals. Now next one is a 4-pole series motor has total number of armature wave wound conductors is equal to 944. Flux per pole is equal to 34.6 milliweber. Gross torque is equal to 209 Newton meter. Supply voltage is 500 volt. Motor total resistance. Now it is a series resistor, a series motor. So series motor will have both the resistances and all the combined resistance is given as 3 ohm. Calculate the current drawn by the motor from the supply and speed of the operation. Current drawn by this motor means total current or the current supplied by the motor we have to take. So series motor, number of poles are given, number of conductors. As it is the wave wound, what will be the value of A? A is equal to 2. For lap wound, A is equal to P. For wave wound, A is equal to 2 always. So phi is equal to 34.6 milliweber. We need to convert it into the webers. Okay. Torque is 209 Newton meter. Voltage supply voltage is equal to 500 volt. Ra plus Rac, that is the total resistance is given, that is the 3 ohm. Now we need to calculate the total current, supply current and the speed. Okay. So how we can calculate now? We have given the parameters phi, z and p. So we need to use that formula of AB. What is AB? AB is equal to phi z NP upon 60A. By putting these values into formula, I can get the value of AB. Once I can get the value of AB, you know that AB is equal to V minus IA RA plus RAC, because it is a series motor and this factor is given. Supply voltage is given. AB we have calculated. So from that easily we can calculate the value of IA. Okay. So here we don't have the speed. Okay, so we have calculated AB in terms of the speed, and now we are getting the AB is equal to this. So from 1 and 2 equation I can write, I will use that 1 and 2 equation afterward. First we write the formula for the power in the actual power that is going to convert into mechanical. So T omega is equal to AB into I. So what is the torque given? 209. What is omega? 2 pi n upon 60, but at n is unknown, is equal to EB into I. What is EB? 500 minus 3 into I into I. Okay. EB into I. So here by solving this I can get the value as 500I minus 3I square. This is the third one. So equating 1 and 2 I can get the value of 1.088 n is equal to 500 minus 3 into I. So hence equation 3 get modified as, I can modify this part in this equation. So I can get 21.88 n is equal to 1.088 n into IA. First I will get the value of I because n get cancelled. Once I get the value of IA, I can, and this I can put this value here in the speed equation, and I will get the value of the speed as 404.09 rpm. We have just used the different term here. We have used this concept power T omega is equal to EB into I. See, whatever the data given, that data, from that data we have to decide which formula we have to use. So logic or the concepts of the motor we should know thoroughly for solving the numerical. Okay. Now the next numerical is the 4-pole lap wound DC motor has 480 conductors. The flux per pole is 24 milliweber and armature resistance is 1 ohm. If the motor is connected to the 200 volt DC supply and running at the 1000 rpm on no load, calculate back EMF, armature current, power output and lost torque. Now we have to calculate the lost torque. Here is a new term. So given is the flux Z, P is equal to A is equal to 4, V is equal to 200 volt, RA is given and 0 is the 1000 rpm. Solution, first we need to back EMF. It is nothing but induced EMF at no load. So no load, for the no load I use the suffix 0. EB0 is equal to phi Z and 0, and 0 is the no load speed P 60A. So by putting the given data here, I will get the no load back EMF as 192 volt. Now the armature current again at no load IA0 is equal to V minus EB0 upon RA. So armature current at no load is 8 amperes. Power at no load is equal to output power is equal to stray losses, because there is no load. If there is no load, whatever the power output and whatever the power and output that is get utilizing in the stray losses. So from that logic I can write that output power is equal to stray losses. And is it stray losses, our output power is nothing but what? Actual converting power is EB0 into IA0. So that is the no load power that we are getting. Loss torque will be what? What is the loss torque? Loss torque is the losses. So EB0 upon IA0 into omega is equal to, how it comes from? Loss torque. Torque into omega is the equation of the mechanical power, and EB into I is the equation of the electrical power. Electrical power EB into I is get converted into mechanical power T into omega. So T is here, just we have taken the omega at the denominator, and by putting the values here I can get the value of loss torque, because I get the value of power output. This is the output power. Output power is equal to torque into omega. But as it is a no load, whatever torque is getting produced is the loss torque. So I can easily calculate loss torque from this part of the equation, and I get the loss torque. So these are the four numerical just based on the simple things. Now we will go for solving the numerical. One numerical we will solve for the efficiency, output power upon input power. So we'll see the efficiency numerical. Now first four was based on the finding the value of speed, torque. Now we are going to see the problem for the efficiency. Efficiency is output power upon input power. We have seen the losses are there. We have seen the formula of the efficiency. Now we will see the problem is a 230 volt 4 pole DC shunt motor running at 750 rpm gives 7.46 kilowatt with an armature current of 38 amperes. The armature wave wound and has 400 conductors. The armature and field resistances are 0.2 ohm and 230 ohm respectively. The voltage drop at each brush is 1 volt. Now voltage drop at brush is given, so we need to consider in the numerical. If it is not mentioned, then we don't have to consider the brush voltage drop. Okay. Now what we have to calculate? Useful flux, rotational losses and efficiency of the motor. So first we will write down the given data. Supply voltage is given, that is 230 volt. Number of poles are 4. N is equal to 750 rpm. P out is equal to 746 kilowatts. Okay, kilowatts is given. I is equal to 38 ampere. Wave wound, that means A is equal to 2. RA is equal to 0.2 ohm. RSH is equal to 230 volts. So V brush is equal to 1 into 2 is equal to 2 volts. Always we have to take the 2 for the brushes. Number of brushes are 2 for the wave wound. Here it is given that wave wound. Okay, so now what we need to calculate? Useful flux, rotational losses and efficiency. So for calculating the value of useful flux, we have this formula, because flux are there and whatever given parameters are here. So EB is equal to 5Z NP upon 60A, that formula is there. Now V is equal to EB plus IRA plus V brush, that is another equation of the voltage. Just by putting this value, I can get the value of EB here. Once I get the value of EB here, I can put that value of EB here in this equation. Now in this equation, only phi term is unknown, so I can easily get the value of flux, and that is the 0.022 Webers. I'll explain it again. First we have calculated the value of EB by this second formula of EB. By finding the value of EB, we have put that value of EB here so that I can get the value of flux phi. So phi, that is a useful flux we have calculated, which is nothing but 0.022 Webers. Now mechanical power loss developed. Okay, for second, rotational losses comes under the mechanical power loss. So what is the mechanical power developed? EB into I, actual power get converted into mechanical. So EB is what? 220. EB is what? 220.4 into I is the 38. So that is the actual power developed. But rotational losses is equal to mechanical power developed minus P out. Okay. Well, I need to calculate the losses first. So P out is already given, that is 7.46 kilowatts. So it is the output power and it is the actual power developed. So mechanical losses can be calculated by, you can imagine the armature EB into I is converted get into the mechanical power. Power minus losses is equal to output. So losses is equal to actual power developed minus P output. So that same logic is used here. mechanical power developed is minus P out. You just imagine that power flow diagram. I have some power is get lost in the mechanical part and then I'll get the output. So for calculating these losses, I can say that power developed minus power output is equal to mechanical losses or that rotational losses. And this term is already given P out. Mechanical power developed is this. So by putting this value in the equation, I can get the rotational loss as 915.2 watts. Now the third part of the numerical is the efficiency of the motor. Efficiency of the motor is P out upon P in. Now what is the P in? P out is already given as 7.46 kilowatts. What is the P in? P in is the electrical power. It is a motor. We are giving the input as electrical energy. That is DC motor. So what will be the power formula? Power is equal to V into I. So what is V? Supply voltage 230 volt. What is I? IA plus ISH. Total current I need for calculating the V in. Total supply current. So I'll just put the value 230 into 38 plus 230 by 230. So this is the P in is equal to 8970 watts. Now I have P in, P out is already given, so I can easily get the value of efficiency. Efficiency is equal to P out upon P in into 100. So P out is 7.46 kilowatts, so we need to convert it into watts. So 10 to the power 3 upon 8970 watts is the input power here into 100. So actual efficiency of the motor is 83.16%. Okay, so here we have covered the simple numericals based on the speed torque and one numerical of the efficiency. In the next video, we are going to cover the speed control method numericals that are little bit one level up from these numericals. So everyone, I hope everyone understood whatever concept I have told in this video. And if you have any doubt, let me know. Okay, thank you everyone. Have a good one. Enjoy your time.